of deadlift, okay? So what does this learning target mean to you? You're going to turn and talk within your group and then be prepared to share out if your number is called, okay? So turn and talk right now with a partner. So basically, if number 3 or 4 is pulled, because you guys are only a 2, then you have to be like 1 and 3, and you are 2 and 3, okay?
Why are you sitting like that?
Wait, so what are we talking about? Deadlift?
Yeah, what does it mean to you?
Why is it important?
Why is it important?
Is that the one where you go like this? That's what I thought.
And like, it works out your calves, and you need to work out your calves. Or it
makes
works out
you
your
strong.
legs. Yeah, it makes you stronger.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you know specifically what muscles other than calves it makes stronger?
Quadriceps, I think.
This one?
Upper bottom.
I think it's called, latissimus. What's this one right here?
It's your brachioradialis.
Yeah, that one.
She's vlogging. She's like
filming.
She's like FaZe Rug. You don't know FaZe Rug?
Yeah.
You do know him? Actually?
No, I don't know. Okay, 30 seconds. We'll wrap up. CJ, let's not do equipment yet. Are you guys? Do you guys all have a? We should.
I'm more or less interested in what his bench is.
How we should learn what muscles and how to perfect a proper form so you don't hurt yourself.
The different types of styles to like work different muscles and stuff.
Totally. Yep. Good job. I saw you walking yesterday. I saw you walking yesterday.
I was.
Away
I
from
was.
school.
I was. I did leave.
I thought of you though. I was like, oh, Dominic. Okay, maybe in your explanation,
Did you get a tank?
CJ, then you talked about why it's important. So just recommit to your group. What does the learning deadlift mean to you and why is it important? So be prepared to share out if I pull out your number, okay? So recommit, make sure everybody has an answer to provide. 1 minute. Ready, go.
Sorry, I was waiting. How are you?
Okay, 10 seconds. You guys should all feel confident, ready to share. All right. How this goes when your number's called. If Parker says something, I'm gonna reiterate what he said. Parker, I agree with such and such and such, and I would like to add whatever. Or, Parker, I disagree with that muscle that maybe you shared. It's actually this muscle. I think this is the muscle that we're actually working, and this is why it's important, okay? So, number, Carson off the thing, please. I know you're excited. Number 3. So, you're gonna, I forgot to actually have you guys count. So, go ahead and count within your group what number you are.
2.
3, 1, 4, 5.
One of you needs to be a number and number 4.
no. 1,
Okay?
3, 2.
Okay. Number 4. So, number 4 needs to stand up. Who's number 4? Number 4. All right. CJ's number 4. So CJ's going to start. He has the luxury. He doesn't have to agree or disagree with anybody because he's going to start. So Why is this learning target about deadlift important? We're gonna listen, and then you need to be prepared, Rainen, to either agree, disagree, and add to it, okay? Can you repeat that? What you just said was perfect. I just want you to say it a little louder.
Okay, so I think that's important so that we don't injure ourselves and find out what muscles.
Be quiet.
Okay. There's still some side talking. Do you need to go over there?
No.
Okay, good. Nice. Rainen. Yep.
I think it's important to know this because it helps on the back and the glutes. And if you do it wrong, then you can like get hurt or something like that.
Do you agree? First, do you agree with what CJ said? Yeah. What Rainen said, I know he spoke very quietly, but he was spot on. Okay, he talked specifically about glutes and his back, so your lats, okay, and not injuring yourself. Okay, number 4 right here, Jackson. So do you agree with what they've said? Yeah? And then do you want to add anything? No? Okay, so what you guys talked about was the same? Yeah. Okay. Jules? Agree, disagree?
I agree.
Okay.
And it helps with like muscle definition in your back area.
Okay.
It also takes like the leg strength to be able to pull up on the bar.
Perfect. Love it. Okay, Brooklyn, Samari, who's number 4? I know you guys had 2 numbers. Okay. You agree with what they said? Is there a specific muscle you talked about that deadlift works? Your back. Okay. What muscle in your back? What? Sorry. Latissimus. Your latissimus dorsi, right? You guys just took that muscle quiz yesterday. Latissimus dorsi. Okay, over here, last one. Agree, disagree?
I agree.
Glutes and quads. Okay. I also heard you guys sprinkle in you want to have good form to not have injury, right? So, here is my why. And it's kind of off to the side, which I don't know why it's doing that. My bad. Deadlifts are a compound muscle lift that strengthen your hip, so everybody put your hands on your hips, extensor. We saw the term flexion, extension yesterday. Flexion, extension. So think about on the back side, in your mind, extensors. So glutes, hamstrings, and your latissimus dorsi, which Samari talked about, okay? So it helps you strengthen those hip extensors to lift weight off the floor. And then there are, yes, Dominic, when I was over there at his group, Dominic talked about there's different variations to deadlift. So there's different grips. There's Romanian deadlift. There's traditional deadlift. You can do it with dumbbells, with barbells. Carson, thank you. And there's different ways to use the equipment for deadlift, okay? So here's a little intro video that we are going to reflect on. It's 5 minutes because this is really important. Deadlift is the one lift that you can pull a ton of weight. If you...
You need to stop deadlifting like
I
that.
did not.
Hey, guys.
Sorry. When you pull a ton of weight though, if you don't have good form, you're gonna hurt yourself. Okay, so this 5-minute video. Before we go though, I want you to just raise your hand. Seeing deadlift already, what should you see? Mason.
Not like your back is hunched.
Okay, no arch in back. What else? What else should you see?
No walking.
Yes. What else? Carson.
No sliding away.
Say that again?
No sliding away down. No dropping away.
Control, I'm gonna say. Is that okay if I say that? Control, lift, control down.
You're supposed to drop it down. You're only supposed to let it down. Only if you go for it.
What else should you see when you're deadlifting? What about your feet?
For the most part.
Yeah, good. Anything else you guys want to add that what you should see? Okay, after we watch, you'll probably add a couple more things, okay? So it's 5 minutes. Make sure you guys are reflecting on kind of those questions on the side. So why is your lats important? What's important about your knees? And how can your grip change over time?
Man, you need to stop deadlifting like that. Hey guys, today I'm going to give you some deadlift tips to help you perfect your lift with some help from an elite powerlifter and elite weightlifter. This is a deadlift tutorial. If you want to deadlift with perfect technique, you need to focus first on fixing your upper body. Here's some tips from that one. Hey guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to work on fixing from here to here and try to get all this stuff straightened out so that we can start the deadlift correctly. The more he has issues here, the more pressure he's going to put down low in the wrong spot. So what we're going to do is he's going to actually bring his feet in right under his hips. So he's becoming narrower. So he's becoming narrower this way. Now what he's going to do is he's going to reach down and grab the bar just like he did the time you saw it there. Now before he goes, he's going to push all of this as straight as he can get it. He's going to lift his head and look a little bit more straight ahead. He's going to fire the lats first. Locking the lats in first, he's going to pull the bar right up against his shins, and it's going to fix a lot of problems. Go ahead. Perfect. Way better. So now it's 1,000 times better, and it's probably 3 times stronger. So start your deadlift with your lats, get your head a little bit more upright and keep this arm. There's less pressure here, more power into your feet. Go ahead, pull one time. Much better. Learning to engage the lats powerfully is a key step in proper deadlifting that most struggle with. Here's a quick drill to perform to learn what proper lat engagement feels like. Take a leg lock and make it attached to a rack. Hinge with keeping your arms straight and pull your hands to your side. Hold for a few seconds. Holding your arms in this position should bring out the musculature to keep an lateral side reinforcement. These are your lats working hard to keep your arms moving. As you get set up in your deadlift, think about creating this same sensation in your lats by pulling your shoulder blades back while setting them into your back pockets. To set your back into a strong and stable position. What we're going to do now is fix this. So the first thing he's thinking about, once he's tightening the lats and lifting the head, the first thing he's thinking about is drawing out his knee to his forearm, exactly. That's going to force his knee to turn on. He's going to think about pushing his hips forward and trying to drive through his heel as he's pulling back as a lever. So he's going to come up, he's going to pull this leg to come through by shifting his hips forward and his shoulders back as a lever system. Send it back down. Now think about thrusting the hips forward, pulling the shoulders back. Much better. That's how it's supposed to act, right there. That's going to give you the most leverage and the biggest amount of strength. Let's review this last tip briefly about using your hips as a lever system. One of the most common problems we see is the shoulders positioned too far forward in the setup. This requires you to pull up and back from the lever, which increases the risk of losing low back stability and rounding your low back. This low back will get more energy than inefficient lines. Rather than use this foot analogy, I learned from someone who may know the deadlift handle. Set up your shoulders over the barbell. Think about your setup like a partially folded book. Then anchor your hips and think about moving the book. This combination of two will help you get your glute onto rather than try to muscle it up with your arms and back. If you want to improve your deadlift technique specific to the Olympic list, like your snatch grip, it's very important that you focus on fixing issues that happen below the waist. Here's one thing Chad Vaughn can tell you more.
Alright, so with the snatch specifically, Matt was over here, he fixed your back, rounding on that first deadlift, so he kind of gave you some cues and adjusted your position to allow that to straighten out a little bit. One big reason why things round with the snatch from the floor is because they're not opening up their knees enough. So the wider grip, you have room to open those knees to allow you to set the hips down maybe a little bit deeper and lock that back in. So let's take a look at that. Alright, bring your feet in just a little bit. Alright, so go ahead and get down and grab or on the snatch grip. Good. Okay. So let's say here's the hips, we'll be straight ahead for me. Go a little bit forward, Mark. Hips down. Okay, so we've got the Try to arch. Here we go. All right, we're going to go with that for the snatch.
Here's another good visual on the differences between the conventional, clean, and snatch deadlift, showing the wider knee position for the snatch as Chad just demonstrated. Now for the power lifter, the end of the lift is in the standing position. However, for the Olympic lifter, the end points are in the standing position with the bar overhead. For the snatch, this happens in one motion. This context will require a few differences within the deadlift compared to the conventional deadlift technique that matched up earlier by power lifters. For example, an Olympic lifter will usually have a slightly arched or flat back versus a slightly rounded upper back used in a relatively heavier conventional deadlift. There will also be a difference in hip height. Notice how much higher Pat's hips are compared to Chad's. The hips are higher in the conventional deadlift versus the Olympic lift clean or snatch deadlift because the hands are more narrow than in the clean, and for sure in the wider grip snatch, making the arms longer and rising the rest of the body higher.
Alright guys, that's it for today's deadlift tutorial. Be sure to go head over and follow Matt and Chad on their YouTube and on their Instagram.
Okay, I know that it talked about cleans and snatches as well. That's advancing out of deadlift. So you have to get your deadlift right, your form right, before doing and practicing hang clean and snatch, which I would hope to provide for you guys, but we gotta get that first. So what other things did you see in the video for deadlift? Anything else? CJ? Yes, the lever, right? He talks about lever, push hips forward at the top. What else?
Have a back straight and hold your glutes.
Neutral spine, yep. Back straight, neutral spine. I agree with those. Anything else you guys saw? Did you guys notice he was barefoot? Why do you think he was barefoot? Colton.
You want a flat surface.
Totally. Your feet matter. When you're pushing and squat and anything, doing leg stuff, your foot matters in how you push into the floor. I'm not going to encourage today, you have no shoes on because we don't have a platform, which they have, but you definitely don't want super chunky athletic shoes like Vans, Converse, these Metcons. They're all really, really good for lifting, but big chunky basketball shoes aren't necessarily the best, okay? So we'll continue to add to what we see when we're doing this. How this works is, in our stations, actually, what's important not only about your knees, but where should they be in regard to your arm? Shoulder width, but hips width. Looking for one more cue on your knees.
Touching the bar.
Got my bamboo here. So if I have my overhand grip here, should my knees be coming in narrow or should they be pushing out towards my hands? Yes. Okay, so that is a proprioceptor, like you want to feel the touch of your knees when you press back up. Okay? So thinking about your knees out, right bracing on the inside of your hands. Okay? Grip changes over time if you add weight. Okay, so you can go overhand grip here, but you noticed he had alternate, that's fine. Doesn't necessarily matter. So deadlift is one of the stations back there that we're gonna get to. You're gonna have a little partner check off. So you guys are gonna assess each other, and I'm gonna be back there helping you guys, but all the other stations are similar, except for our squat rack. So I'm gonna have you guys come off. Just gonna add one more station in here. Same thing over there, but it's called pistol squat. It's gonna light up your flexors. So deadlift is extensors. And then we're gonna move on to the next station, which is our flexors, so our quads, okay? So pistol squat, you put one foot up, eyes over here, Jules, Jackson. And then you're gonna step your foot out a little bit, and you're gonna come down to 90 degrees, and then push back up through the heel. Okay, a lot of glute on the standing leg, a ton of quad on the lifted leg. okay? And then you're gonna do like a set of 10, nice and slow, controlled, cores tight, and then switch legs, and then feel like whatever your foot feels comfortable, making sure the knee stays over the ankle. Rack it. You can try it on the rack over here. Start with the bar, okay? Because it feels really weird, imbalanced at first, but it's a great unilateral lift for your hip flexors, okay? So stations are gonna go up 1 minute. If you want to start it deadlift, I'm gonna meet you back there at the door. Everybody else kind of start whatever station you want to start at.